Hey, you! Hola. Today is the first Descendant Season 3 Part 1 review. Fortunately or unfortunately, Season 3 has been split up into two parts, Part 1 and Part 2. So my review is going to be a little bit more based off of Part 1 with an eye, I guess, looking for towards the future with Part 2. So here we go! The positives and the negatives of the Season 3 First Descendant Breakthrough Part 1. That's a mouthful. So here's a couple of good things that I really enjoy about the First Descendant Season 3. Let's talk about Axion. Their big area that they just released with the wall crusher and the meteors that fall from the heavens, so you go and get them, the hover bikes, all that. Axion is, in my opinion, the best addition they've ever done in this game. Axion is a hit. I do think that they could do improvements to the area. It's not perfect. A little bit more variety and weather patterns. I would like to see like a thunderstorms, chaos. Sometimes it feels like it can be a little empty, especially with there only being 4 people that are in an area at one time. I would love to see that number increase to 6 or 8 people. And I know that some people might bring up, well, it's not really possible because you're going to have then 7 Ineses and it's going to be chaotic and it's going to be laggy. Well, to that, I say it's about time we introduce something that I feel the game has been needing for quite a while, and that is reducing the skill effects of some of the classes, the graphics of those explosions that happen. If we want to turn that down, give us that option. I think it will be much better for optimization as well if we can turn that down. Speaking of optimization, when the patch went live, there was a bunch of optimization issues, which is no stranger to the First Descendant. They always have a bit of an optimization issue. It has been their bane of their existence. Has been there since Season 1, Season 2. There's always a bit of optimization issues with Freyna killing everybody's FPSs with all the skills. That's why it would be good to add a slider that would kind of eliminate a lot of these issues in the game. I don't know, I'm no developer, so there might be constraints or issues why they haven't added that yet. I know before you guys slide your little greasy fingers in the comments and say, well, you can turn it down. No, you cannot. They've added the option to turn down certain effects. I believe it was a launcher, but skills, you still see them. Explosions, you still see them. There's still a lot of things that you can't eliminate to make performance better. I wish that was a thing that was added with Season 3, and maybe we could have gotten 6 players in a map or 8 players. That would have made Axion feel more alive. Though, that is a little bit of a negative take, but in the positive, I love a lot of things about Axion. I love that I can roam from one area or open up my map and see where people are grinding and just go grind. It feels really good. It feels great when I am just roaming the land, and then there's the intercoms that happens, which is something that I suggested. Just want to take a note. I suggested that they should do some intercoms when you're sitting in Albion, and oh my God, come defeat the wall crasher that just spawned. I also like that happens with the meteors that are happening in Axion every 15 minutes or so, and then you go and rush to them and kill them so you could get your bike upgrading materials. I think everything is reasonable. I saw a couple of negative reviews out there. I'm not going to name any names, but there's a couple of negative reviews that I've been watching on the internet lately that complain about the in quotations grind of this game. Maybe this is a bit of a hot take, but it only took me like 3 to 4 days to grind almost everything about this new update. Do we really think that is a big grind? I don't think so. I don't understand where the complaints are coming from that this game is grindy. I don't see it. Like, do we expect to grind everything out within the first day of release? That is absurd to me. And most of the people that I've been talking to have said that they've gone around 3 to 4 days, 5 days, maybe a week. It took them to get most of everything that's in the new season. I think There isn't a tedious grind for Nell. There isn't a tedious grind for the bicycles. I don't think there's tedious grind for the guns. I don't think there's a tedious grind for any of this. Even upgrading your bicycles. I have 2 bicycles to max already. I'm working on my 3rd one. I think the grind is perfect. Well, maybe not perfect, but I think the grind is reasonable. I don't think it's too tedious. I don't think it's annoying at all. I think if they would have made it easier, I would have been done with the content in 2 days rather than a week, you know? I still think I got another week of juice for the part 1 of season 3. I wish there was a bit more different activities we can do. I can add some suggestions at the end of this video where I can suggest a couple of things that I would like to see for the first Descendant so it can boost replayability. Nell, the character that just added, is great, by the way. Amazing. The first character that's made me want to put down Bunny. I've been playing Bunny since the release. I love Bunny, but Nell is my girl now. Nell is the first character that's made me want to put down Bunny, and I can't say enough good things about her. She's pretty brilliant. I can't wait to see her in ultimate form. The story, I feel like we're still missing a bit of sound in the story, some more immersion, some more tracks playing, music playing in the cutscenes. I do love that they got very personal with some of the story characters this time. I think it's really good. I think it's a great foundation for the future. I want to see more of love interest. I want to see more of the personalities of the characters, and I think they've done a good job this time. It felt extremely short though. Part 1, I was just unzipping and then it was over. And I was like, wait, what? Like, the main story is done? So I wish we would have gotten more of the main story, but you know, maybe we'll get more in part 2. The most negative thing that I can say about the first Descendant Season 3 breakthrough is optimization. Optimization is the worst. It launched with a lot of FPS issues for a lot of people, with some sort of memory leak that you had to go back to Albion or the town to refresh your FPS. I feel like that turns people off a lot. So they just recently had a patch that fixed most of that. It's good. It took them a week, but it's good that most of it is gone now. I don't seem to have any frame issues, but I also play on a NASA PC. I have a really good processor, a really good GPU, so I can't speak for other people that probably have lesser systems. It might still be really horrible for them. Wall Crusher Crasher, the big 8-man raid. Let me clap for this one. I think the 8-man raid is phenomenal. Amazing addition. When in that fight, I experienced no lag, no FPS drop. So optimization in the fight itself is really good. I love that you can run your hover bike or run to the wall and it automatically starts a matchmaking and pairs you up with 7 other people, making it an 8-player raid. It's amazing. I don't think the Wall Crusher is a pushover necessarily. I think by week 1, week 2, Wall Crasher and Crusher, I'm sorry for not remembering how to say the name, I think it is very well tuned. I think any more difficult added to Wall Crasher would have been a put off for new players or casual players or people that are, you know, mechanically challenged. I think the mechanics are super to understand, super easy to understand, very intuitive, very nice. I think by week 2, there will be very few people that have issues with it, and it's going to become a pushover by week 2 or week 3 even. And I think that's fine, because it is a matchmaking system where they are going to pair you up randomly with people. You don't get to filter that out. So sometimes you have somebody who is a little bit less mechanically in tuned, and then you have these other Serenas that get to help those people through the match. Another negative that I have to say, let's talk about Serena. I still can't believe that the moment this patch went live, Serena literally destroys everything. That is crazy. That is crazy that she's still, nothing has changed from this. Serena, she's still the powerhouse. Wall Crasher came out, And if you got a party of like 3 to 5 to 7 Serenas, you get like 20-second runs, bro. You get like 50-second runs. Serena is still so overpowered. But I'm not gonna talk about nerfs or buffs here, because this is not the realm I wanna go into, because I have a little bit of a disconnect with the community. At first, they're complaining that Ines gets nerfed. And then they're complaining that Serena doesn't get nerfed. Pick one. Pick a lane. Do you want nerfs? Or do you not want nerfs? Where are we going with this? I just don't understand. So I'm going to stay a little out of this buffs and nerfs conversation. I do wish that they balanced a little bit better, though. I will say that. I wish that the balancing was better. And they did speak about bringing balance. So we're just going to have to wait and see if all the characters are brought up to that speed. But I don't know. Whether buffs are needed, nerfs are needed, I just know that Serena is really strong. And if you happen to be in a party with a Serena, congratulations, you're going to get carried if the Serena knows how to build her character. So, optimization, Serena being super strong are probably two of my most negative takes. The hover bike. Let me tell you about the greatness that is this bike. It is slippery. It is good feeling when you get off, when you get on the bike, when you're zapping and dodging and grappling and then back on your bike and then throwing a massive AoE back on your bike, a next pack, back on your bike. This bike should be introduced in every area. We're talking 400% dungeons, Colossus fights. The bike should be an integral part of gameplay from here on out. Every area with the bike. If I have to go and play any other area that doesn't have the bike, it's gonna feel really off to me. I wouldn't even want to play that content, I'm gonna be honest. Without the bike, I don't want to play it. The bike brings the score for season 3 a little bit higher. I don't like, okay, so with the bike there is a bit of a negative, or I'm in a little bit of in the middle, and I don't know how to feel about this. So in the game you can customize a lot of things and change things around to fit your play style, and to customize things with like your guns, for example. You can lock certain attributes that you unlock, right? The stats, you can lock them so you can re-roll the other ones. In the bike, you can't do that. When you hit re-roll your stats on the bike, it rolls all of the stats. I don't know if I like that, or it definitely extends the gameplay more so you can grind for these materials. But because the rest of the game kind of has that option, it feels a little bit weird that they don't let you re-roll specific ones and lock other ones. I don't know. I'm in the middle of this one. Tell me how you guys feel about this one. It definitely does extend the gameplay though. Voice acting a little bit better in English. I still think voice acting could be done definitely better in the game. Hire me. Next on Magnum Studios, I would gladly voice one of your next future Descendants. I would put that oomph that is needed. What else can I say? Audio design. I think audio design is great, except some of these cutscenes. I wish there was a bit more cinematic feeling with some of these tracks they put in there. Oh my god, hold up. How can I skip this? The new loot drop sounds are orgasmic. You know how it feels when you about to, you know, do that final blow? That's how it feels like now. They added new chimes and new audio cues when you get good loot, and it's so satisfying, bro. It is so satisfying when you get all that I'm not gonna try to mimic the sound, but that sound with the new loot feels good. It is amazing. One thing that I would suggest is that when you get something super good, that because it sounds like you just got something good, but because there is so much loot that you're picking up from the ground, sometimes you kind of skip over what you just got that was important. So it would be nice if it displayed on top for the super good loot. It would like for 1 second or 2 seconds, it would display on the top center that you just got Nell's piece. You know, like a good chime, boom, and then Nell would appear on the top center of your screen saying you just got a Nell cell or something, a blueprint. Just so you can so it can add to that dopamine feeling. I don't know, guys. I think I'm going to say that Season 3, Patch 1, Part 1, I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. I think they really nailed it with this, no pun intended, but I think they really did a good job, and I cannot wait for Part 2. On Part 2, I think we're getting melee weapons. We are getting the lounge, which I can't wait. Lounge is a housing for the first Descendant. And I can't wait for Ultimate Luna. I can't wait for Part 2. I'm back, baby. We're back. The first Descendant, we are back. So tell me, what do you guys think about Season 3, Part 1 patch? What did you guys think? Leave it down in the comments below. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Not so fast. Hit that subscription button before you head out. How about that?